What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV, man. I'm here to report some sad news to the world. It's been reported that Chicago rapper and OTF artist under Lil Durk's label, King Von, was shot and killed by Atlanta police last night, right? Now, I've been reading up on what happened, and what I'm seeing is that King Von allegedly got into a situation or an argument. He exchanged harsh words with Quando Rondo, a rapper by the name of Quando Rondo. Now, I'm not familiar with Quando Rondo's music at all, but I've been hearing his name around for a while, and I even saw him get into an altercation with Chicago rapper and King Von affiliate, Lil Reese. It was about like a month ago or 2 months ago. They were going back and forth, and he got into it with Lil Reese. Now, I don't know if his beef with Lil Reese spilled over into King Von. I don't really know what happened with that, but allegedly those two exchanged words and they met up. They met up at like some type of lounge, a nightclub or something like that. And then once words were exchanged, some fighting broke out, some gunshots occurred, and then some individuals were killed. King Von was allegedly killed by Atlanta police who were off duty, who were there in the club that night. I think they were off duty, or I don't know if they were working security or whatever, but King Von was allegedly shot by the Atlanta police who were present there, right? And for me, man, it's really, really sad. Well, first of all, let me say this. Rest in peace to King Von. Rest in peace to two of his friends who were allegedly killed. And I hope that the other brother on Quando Rondo's side who was shot, I hope he pulls through, right? Sad situation to be involved in. Why? It's for so many reasons. These are two men who are rap artists, who are getting a lot of money, who have escaped the madness of their neighborhoods. They have escaped the tumultuous areas that they came from and all type of stuff. Now, I don't know Quando Rondo's background, but I know King Von's background, right? Von from Chicago, just like me. Born and raised in Chicago. I know and saw the madness that him and, his area, his neighborhood had been involved in. Von survived all these street wars that was going on in the city of Chicago. He survived 4 years in jail, only to be killed in Atlanta. Not off no gang type stuff, no street affiliations or nothing like that. Off of altercation with another man that had to do with some pride. It really sounds like a case of pride getting the best of two individuals and it leading to bad things occurring. I always say this, man. Pride can be the best thing and worst thing in men, right? Because pride can be a good thing is when you're doing something, right, and you're trying to excel in something and you take pride in what you're doing, you're going to give your very, very all, your very best, because your name is attached to it. So you're going to give your very all 100%, 200% to make sure it comes out the best way possible, right? You're going to give your all in something. You take pride in your family, take pride in, your kids. You're going to make sure your kids are well taken care of. You're going to make sure your little brothers and little sisters are well taken care of. Your family is well taken care of. It's good to take pride in those things, to take pride in, your gifts or your abilities and whatever business that you have, because it's going to work out for the best. It's going to work out for the best when you do take pride in what you're doing. If you take pride in what you're doing, you're going to give it your best effort, right? But there's a such thing as foolish pride. Foolish pride is when, you really don't care about the consequence. You don't think about the consequences of how things could hurt you and other people around you. You make hasty decisions and you act off impulse, and it can lead to the worst things in the world happening. Foolish pride can harm men in the worst way and lead to bad things happening to not only us as men, but people around us, whether it be your kids, your family, your friends, your woman, or whatever. It can also lead to our demise. And this whole situation sounds like foolish pride. Two, as men, right? When we have altercations with other men, I know this for a fact in Chicago, Illinois. I don't know about other areas. I'm sure it's like this in other areas. I'm sure it is. But I know me personally, I spent majority of my lifetime in Chicago, so I can speak on how it is in Chicago. In Chicago, when men have altercations, nobody wants to be the man that appears to be backing down. Nobody wants to appear like they got bitched out. Nobody want to appear like they are goofy, or they were scared, or they were timid, or they were weak, right? So you got two men full of testosterone, hollering and yelling and bickering, and everybody want to show each other that they not a punk. And they will go to the most extreme levels to show another individual or the people around that individual that they're not a punk and they're not scared, which will result in individuals losing their lives or getting severely injured a lot of times, right? And it's a terrible situation, man, because these men have families, they have kids, they got people that they're taking care of by the busload, taking care of a ton of people, right? And then you got a situation where somebody loses their life, or multiple people lose their life. And then now what? Now what? Now a kid is without a father. Now you got, families that are sad and distraught. You got friends that are sad and distraught, and it's just a whole bunch of mess, man. And I think as men, we got to get rid of that foolish pride. It's been times where I could not be a part of the foolish pride because I knew something terrible could happen. You know what I mean? You get into it, you step on a dude's shoe. I done had a time, no lie. I was on a train. I was on the CTA. I'm on the red line, right? And y'all know, if those who don't know, Chicago red line is the train subway system. It's so many people on the train at one time, a lot of times, right? So we close together. The train can be rocky. Even if you holding on, it can be rocky. I accidentally stepped on this dude's shoe, his Jordans, right? And this dude said, "Damn, motherfuckers keep stepping on my Jordans, man." And he looking at his girl, looking all mad and looking all crazy, right? Now, I said, "Excuse me," when I stepped on his Jordans initially, right? After I said, "Excuse me," he get the, "Motherfuckers keep stepping on my Jordans," looking like he didn't looking at me when he said, but he looking at his girl like he really wanted to do something. He looking at his girl mad and like he all this anger in his voice. Now I could have been super ignorant and said, "What you want to do?" I said, "Excuse me, now what? What the fuck you want to do?" I could have took it to that level, right? But I'm sitting with my woman, right? I'm sitting with my lady. We having a good time on the way back home. I don't know what this fool got on him. I don't know if he could do something to me or to my lady, and there's no coming back from that. So you know what? I say, you know what? I'm gonna let this fool. He after he did all that, after he hollered at his woman, I'm like, look, I'm gonna let this fool. I ain't gonna even go there. I ain't gonna even go there, bro. Like, I'm trying to go home. I got a daughter. I ain't trying to, I don't know what this dude got on him. If he ain't touched me physically and he ain't disrespect my woman, I'm gonna let it be. You know what I mean? Because all he did that little point where talking about motherfucker stepping on his Jordans, he wilded out. Talking to his girl, not looking at me in my face. He looking at his girl. His girl like shaking her head. Something's obviously wrong with him. He seemed like he off his rocker anyway. Seemed like he out of his mind and his woman know it. I said, something wrong with dude. He obviously not in his right mind. His woman is like looking like, oh my God. She really like looking like she about to lose it because she know he's unstable. So I left it alone. And I'm like, man, look. And then when I'm getting ready to get off the train, an older man that was sitting right there that saw me, I had my Kappa jacket on. He was an Omega. The older man that was sitting right next to me, he said, "Keep being positive, young brother. Don't let nothing stray you off that path." And I'm like, man, that's all I needed to hear, man. So I ain't got to partake in no situation that deal with foolish pride, because something bad could have happened, right? Either he could have did something to me or I could have did something to him, and it could have been no coming back from that. You know what I mean? I could have took it to somewhere crazy. I'm not even no wild. I'm not no gangster. I'm a regular, average dude that's into school, that's into sports. You know what I'm saying? That's into my family, that's into making YouTube videos. But I'm saying, in the heat of the moment, who knows what could happen? Who knows what could happen? It can turn into a situation where it's life and death. It could have went to a whole nother place that it shouldn't have went to, right? But for me to say, you know what? I ain't finna engage with this fool. Something obviously wrong with him. I'm gonna let it go and go on about my day. Sometimes you gotta do that. You can't worry about looking like no bitch or looking like you a goofy or nothing like that. You gotta let it go. Because at the end of the day, you moving on to live another day with your family and friends. Now, if somebody would have touched my kids, touched my woman, touched me, I'm all for it, small for it. At that point, I gotta defend myself and defend my family's honor without a doubt, without question. I'm gonna stand down as a man on that regardless. But if it's some little petty little words and he ain't even looking at me, some motherfuckers keep stepping on my Jordans, he looking at his lady, I ain't even finna take it there. You know what I mean? Because it ain't even worth it at the end of the day, man. It's really not. And this dude already look unstable. Ain't no telling what he got on him, whatever. It ain't worth it. And, in this situation with Vaughn and Quando Rondo, it sounds like some foolish pride taking over. And at some point, you can't let that get the best of you. You can't let it get the best of you. You got to really think about what you got lined up, all the stuff that you got going for yourself, and think, man, it ain't worth it, man. I ain't finna get into all this stuff like Vaughn that survived. You hear my baby in the background crying right now. See that? I can't be out here acting a fool and having foolish pride and then not let me coming home to my son, not let me coming home to my daughter. I can't be out here like, it can't occur. Again, if somebody do something to them, to my lady, to me, or to my family, it's okay. Then I'm gonna take it there for sure. But if it's some little petty little small little words, you know what I mean? And the dude looking at his woman, he ain't like he getting mad and talking to his woman, that ain't petty. I mean, it ain't worth that. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because Von had a one hell of a career ahead of him. He just dropped the album. Welcome to O Block album. Just dropped the album. It's so crazy. I was listening to Everyday Struggle interview he was doing. As soon as my boy called me and told me what happened, because I didn't even know nothing had even happened last night. He just had told me. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. I'm watching this man interview with DJ Academics, Wayno, and Nadeska, and then I'm hearing about him getting killed. It's absolutely crazy, man. The young man had everything he was dropping, he was getting millions and millions of views on. He was making a lot of noise out here, man. People I went to school with in Arkansas and Mississippi and Memphis and all this and all of that was listening to him all the time. And it's like, damn, the situation with foolish pride got into the way. It's like, man, it led to the wrong things happening and some lives being taken in the process, man. And that's why I think as men, we got to know when to go there and when to leave it alone. You know what I mean? When to stand down as a man and when to leave certain stuff alone. Like, man, look, it ain't even supposed to be all that, man. But you got certain individuals who have so much stuff built up in them. It's like we as men, we taught to not back down from no man. Walking like this is a lot of us are taught that. Don't back down from no man. Don't be the last person to look away from a man when y'all in a staring confrontation. Don't let no, don't let no man say nothing to you out of pocket. Like, this is how it is. You know what I mean? And we've been raised to be like that. But it's sometimes when you got to be like, nah, you know what? I'm going to just let that go. Something wrong with dude. He off his rocking. I'm going to just let it ride. Not saying you got to be no bitch or whatever. Nobody's saying that. Excuse my language to say, oh, you going to be a bitch if you do this. Like, no. Don't. If somebody touch you, touch your family and all that, by all means, protect your family. You ain't going to be no punk. I mean, I'm not saying, don't just cower away from every man that says something to you. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying there's situations where it's not really that big of a deal, when it's really not really even worth it, just let some of that BS go. Let the BS go and go on about your day, man, because it can lead to some of the worst things happening. Man, matter of fact, I'm going to make this point too. I'm up in, and let me tell you, especially, I'm telling you how some people in Chicago think and how a lot of that energy has transferred from the older individuals to the youth. You know what I mean? And even outside of Chicago, I ain't even talking about that just I'm sure it's like that in a lot of other areas and how men are. I remember me and my right-hand mans, we going to Walmart, right? We going to Walmart. My daughter, not feeling good. I'm like, let me stop at Walmart to get us some Pepto-Bismol. My boy driving. He going through the parking lot, and he kind of almost collided with somebody, right? Nothing happened. My boy damn. And, ain't nothing, it wasn't even no words exchanged back and forth or nothing like that. He like, man, okay, cool. We man, that was almost an accident with us. But all right, cool. He parks, goes into Walmart. We both going to Walmart. Now, the dude that he almost collided with, I didn't even know it was him. I guess he saw us. And my boy got a baby face. He bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? More muscle bound than me, more tall than me. But he got a baby face, right? He military, so his face is shaven. So I guess dude thought he was a kid. Dude, almost 40 years old, late 30s. He coming to my boy hey fam, you need to slow down in that parking lot. You need to slow down. My boy on the phone, he what? You need to slow down in that parking lot. And my boy say, man, my boy getting ready. My boy tell him, man, get your, basically called him a goofy. My boy called him a goofy and tell him, look, he said, you need to watch, my boy told him he need to watch where he going, right? And it's and see off that, right? My boy, now I ain't gonna let nobody talk to me crazy. Like that part, my boy right in saying, what are you talking about, fam? What you want to do? Yeah. But you see how a dude, that situation was over and done with. And this dude come approaching my boy about almost colliding with him in the parking lot in the store. And maybe because he was with some women and he felt like he had to show us something. I'm about to show these young boys they ain't on nothing or whatever. But he don't know what we had on us. It could have not even me, because I don't carry no weapon. But he don't know what my boy ain't had nothing, but it's saying he don't know what my boy had on him or nothing. He don't know it could have went to some extreme levels and it could have led to some BS happening. And I'm not trying to sound tough or make my boy sound super tough, but I know my boy ain't no punk or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I know I ain't no punk either. So, taking it to a whole nother level it didn't need to go to. Why are you approaching some people you almost collided with in the store when the situation is over and done with? Nobody got out of their cars, talking disrespectful to each other when they almost collided. None of that occurred. So why do you feel the need to do that? Like, you gotta feel the need to show. I'm gonna show these young boys. I'm gonna show them I ain't nothing to play with. You don't almost hit my car. Ain't nobody finna almost hit my car. I'm gonna go off. That's what the older dude, whole energy was, right? And he trying to approach it to some young dudes, talking crazy. And and I'm like, what? And my boy talking crazy back to him. And at the end of the day, dude came over there talking all that crazy. He tried to come up there being tough. When my boy talked crazy back, he walked off and walked his butt into another aisle. And I'm looking like, you see there? If you're gonna do all that, it's no need to even go there. Because my boy could have been somebody that was unhinged, crazy, or somebody that's like just didn't have his right mind, and it could have ended up being bad for that dude. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. He could have did something. He could have ended up doing something to one of us or something. It could have been crazy for no reason, for absolutely no reason. Nobody collided with each other. Cars got hit, and it's just a whole bunch of BS that could have occurred over something that almost happened. Something that didn't happen, essentially. Nobody crashed into each other. So what was the purpose of him coming into the store trying to be a tough guy? What was the purpose in that? At all, no purpose at all. But I'm saying, you see how foolish pride can have men doing crazy stuff? I had them not thinking in their right mind. Acting just like, man, it can lead to a whole bunch of bad things occurring, man. And so, it's times where you just gotta leave certain situations alone, walk away from it as a man, and know and have enough security in yourself and your manhood to say, man, I ain't no punk. You know what I mean? I know I'm not trying to get sucked into no bad situation. Because let's be real. And Vaughn was in a situation, in the case that Vaughn survived, they would try to put Vaughn back in jail on some crazy stuff. Also, like, you know what I mean? Like, either it would have been bad. It would have been very, very bad, man. And it's very sad that the brother lost his life. And all the young brothers. I make videos talking about the Chicago rap scene before. Duck lost his life. All the street wars these boys been engaged in and all that type of stuff. It's just like, it's a sad thing to know that you got young black men who have been successful in something, even if they wasn't successful, young black men, they my brothers, because I like black, especially the ones in Chicago, man. I didn't live in so many neighborhoods, man, and I feel like I'm brothers with a lot of black men that I just been engaged with or just I seen from afar. You know what I mean? They're my people. Black people, they're my people. Them black brothers are my people. So I don't want nothing to happen to them. I don't want us getting into it with each other and all that and bickering with each other, and then it leads to law enforcement getting involved and law enforcement gunning one of us down and so on and so forth, man. It's crazy, man. So it's a sad situation, and it's horrible. Rest in peace to King Von. Rest in peace to the other individuals involved. Super sad. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.